All right, folks, today we're going to be talking about Supervel and their 300 Blackout 200 grain full metal jacket subsonic rounds. All right, folks, thanks for joining us today. As I mentioned, we're going to be talking about the 300 Blackout 200 grain Supervel ammo.
That's right.
We want to thank Supervel for being a new channel sponsor for us. We mentioned them before in a previous video, but again, this is more for them. This is so that we can showcase their wares, so to speak. We also want to thank DDT for the range bags. I think you got one down there.
Yeah.
So DDT is a sponsor of ours also. They're hooking us up with some bags, so we can come out here in style and show you guys some of their bags and some of the stuff they can do. We've got some pistol bags later on. We're gonna do a whole feature on that in a future video, so stand by for that one.
Absolutely.
But for today's feature event, we're going to be talking about the 200 grain 300 Blackout rounds.
Yeah, so this is by Supervel, which is US made, actually here in Henderson, Nevada, which is our neck of the woods. So Supervel, thank you guys for your sponsorship, and everybody else watching, don't forget to go give Supervel a like and subscribe on their social media channels. But like Roger said, today we're going to be running the 300 Blackout round. For those of you who don't know, the 300 Blackout was specifically designed to be a cartridge for suppression, to be as quiet as possible. Now these are going to be subsonic, which means slower than the speed of sound. Now the speed of sound is going to be 1,125 feet per second. These are coming in at 1,050 feet per second, so it's going to be about 75 feet per second slower than the speed of sound. But what we did do is Roger brought his Garmin out here, and we're going to be doing some speed tests, seeing how fast each round actually fires through a couple of different length barrels as well. But very excited for this, so we're going to run it both suppressed and unsuppressed. Yeah,
and the Garmin's going to make sure we're coming under subsonic. We have shot some of their stuff in a future video or a past video. Stuff is super quiet, but it was direct impact rounds that we shot back then. These are just specific range ammos, and we thank Supervel for sponsoring the channel with those. Again, we got a couple of different rifles to choose from here. We're going to start with the 16-inch and kind of go down to a 7.5-inch, maybe one or two in between. We'll see how that goes. But just to give you guys an overall look at what you might be looking at, depending on the gun that you might have and what kind of sound suppression you might be looking at, or if it's cracking the sound barrier.
Yeah. And we're going to figure that out here pretty quick, not only with our own ears, but with the Garmin to back it up on top of it. Now we're going to shoot paper right now. That way you don't hear any steel ringing or anything like that, because traditionally if you shoot steel with subsonic, well, that's going to be louder than the gun itself. So we'll stay away from doing that just for audio purposes.
Absolutely. We're still going to be using the Taylor Targets paper stand right there for the grouping shots. We might just shoot at the dirt, because it is subsonic. So, people tend to don't want to hear the steel when you're hearing subsonic rounds. At least that's the input we've gotten. See, we listen to you guys. So tell us what you need in the comments. We'll hook it up. But anyways, yeah, let's get to doing some of this testing. Let's do the group shots first, and then we'll hook it up with the chronograph.
Let's do it. And one other final bit of advice that we're going to recommend for you guys who are really big in the gun industry: separate your magazines from 300 Blackout from 5.56. Roger's actually got these really cool straps around here that say 300 Blackout. A big mistake is this round will go into a 5.56 magazine and reverse, but it will not go in your barrel that way. So if you shoot the wrong round, you're going to blow your gun up. So try to keep it separated properly.
So fun fact, we've had customers that we've had to replace barrels on because they did not separate their magazines. Don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
Make sure you know what you're putting in your gun.
Expensive mistake.
Yes. All right.
Let's do it. Right now, I'm going to be running this on a 16-inch barrel. This is that Timber Creek build you guys have seen before. And we do have a Garmin out here right now, so we can read the feet per second on every single shot. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it about 5 shots. I will call the feet per second on each shot that the Garmin tells us and give you guys a feedback on what we think and what we hear. All right, going hot. Okay. So Garmin didn't want to read that shot, so let's readjust here. All right, so this one came in at 1,116 feet per second. This one is 1076. 1044, 1044. We have 1084, and we'll give one more shot. And the final one is 1068 feet per second. So nothing went over the speed of sound. The box is marked at 1050 feet per second. Of course, you might have a few feet per second difference between a couple of shots. It's not that big of a deal. But the biggest thing is that we're not going over 1125 feet per second.
Just a quick note, the 300 Blackout was designed on a 9-inch barrel.
Yes.
So being that we're on a 16-inch barrel would explain why it's going higher than 1050 feet per second.
Yeah, correct. We get a little bit longer barrel, so more burn. It's going to give us a little bit more velocity out of it. But we will also run suppressed. That's going to change the gas. So Roger's got one right here. So we're going to have the Sandman. And this is going to change the gas pressure a little bit, and then we will also run a shorter barrel too and see what that does. But let me go ahead and get the gun clear so I can add the suppressor, and then we'll give it another follow-up shot. Okay, so now we have the Dead Air Sandman suppressor on here, running the Supervel 200 grain subsonic ammunition. We're going to go ahead and go live and see how she does. All right, so that one is 1175 feet per second. That one's 1067. 1100. 1062, and one more shot. 1078. All right, so we are not going over the speed of sound, which is 1125 feet per second. Again, like Roger said earlier, this is a 16-inch barrel, and now we added a suppressor, which is going to give us more speed on the velocity here. But if we run a shorter barrel, such as a 10-inch or something like that, we're going to lose a little bit of that feet per second. But again, the 300 Blackout was more designed to be like on a 10-inch platform, not necessarily a 16-inch. But we're going to go ahead and switch over and see what the difference is on that with the Garmin and the Supervel ammo.
Now, one thing I want to note, this is the same gun that we had the issues with on the last Supervel ammo, if you remember.
Yeah, there was a couple of hiccups with it, but
yeah, this time,
when you build guns
ran,
too,
it ran perfect this time.
Yeah,
so.
But I mean, we'll run it with a few more shots so Roger can get some, but then we'll go over to a smaller AR platform, which was more what this was meant for, and to see
I say we just go to the smaller platform.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah. All right, so now I've got my 10.5 inch out here. Hopefully I remembered to put lubrication in that sucker because she kind of tends to, yep, she loaded. All right, we're gonna get some speed shots here, see how she does. .996 on a 10.5 inch barrel. So that's actually, I know I shot 3 shots, but I just wanted to get 3 rounds out real quick. Let me shoot one more. 1002. 1009. 975. 1117, 989, 997, 1009. That's on the 10.5 inch. My custom build that you featured on my custom builds a while back. Great performance by the Supervel ammunition, I must say. Great performance. So I am so happy they are a sponsor of ours. We needed this subsonic stuff, man.
Okay, welcome back, guys. So now we're going to be using a 7.5 inch AR 300 Blackout using the Supervel 300 Blackout 200 grain subsonic ammunition. This is actually a custom build that was done by Chris Marsh, who is the owner of Desert Cerakote, who is also a partner of Sheepdog Gun Armory in the channel. So if you guys would like to get a really awesome custom Cerakote job on your gun, make it a little bit more special to you, come over down to Sheepdog Gun Armory or follow Desert Cerakote on the social media channels, Instagram and everything like that. But we're going to be running the ammo this time on a Lahar 30 by Aero Precision suppressor with that 7.5-inch barrel. So let's go ahead and load it up, see what the difference is on the decibel rating with the Garmin as we take a few shots. And I did take my ears off on this one because it is very quiet, and I just want to hear how it sounds. All right, 1,095 feet per second, 920 feet per second, 915, 915, 961 feet per second, and 945 feet per second. So we have now fired it with a 7.5-inch, a 10.5-inch, and a 16-inch barrel. There's a noticeable difference as the barrels get shorter and shorter, your decibel rating gets less and less, okay? And the reason this is, the longer the barrel, the more the powder pressure builds up behind the round, giving it more velocity. And if you have more velocity, hence more feet per second, getting closer to the speed of sound.
Yeah, the longer barrels give you better powder burn.
Yes, it is better powder burn for sure.
Yeah, to what you're saying there, that's the exact reason why those things get a lot faster.
So if you're going to run maybe a 300 blackout on a 16-inch barrel, this is probably going to be better more for hunting or something like that, like hog hunting, pig hunting. It's going to give you more velocity. You're not necessarily worried about sound too much, and you're just going to get that maybe further shot if you need it by extra powder burn. If your main concern is keeping your decibel rating as low as possible for quietness, definitely run off of a 10.5-inch or a smaller barrel. That way you can have less velocity, overall shorter gun, so you can also have a can that doesn't stick out as long too. Obviously if you're running a 16-inch barrel with a suppressor, which you can do, it'll be quieter, but now the gun is really long versus something a lot shorter if you want to have it inside your home or for self-defense or something like that. But the options are limited. Just understand what you're getting with shorter barrels versus longer barrels, and subsonic versus supersonic ammunition, and what that's going to do for you.
Yeah, my 10.5-inch you got there in the middle, I built that one for home defense and designed it specifically for subsonic rounds. Obviously, it was extremely quiet when I shot it. I was happy with that one, and Chris's is pretty nice as well. Let me get a good shot there. There you go.
It's a little hard to see.
There's not that much difference in length. Mine's just a few inches taller, but it's a little more powder burn. So
yes, but he's got one hell of a custom paint job, though.
Yeah, he does. Gotta love those Desert Cerakote paint jobs, man.
Oh, yeah, they're awesome. I definitely like this in the 7.5-inch platform and the 10.5-inch. I would be personally running one of these two things. The 16 is fun, but 300 blackout's made for a smaller, quieter gun. So I like what this one's doing right here. So.
To be fair, the Timber Creek 316-inch that we did, we built it for two reasons. Number one, because Timber Creek was nice enough to donate the color kit for it. Yeah. And number two, I wanted a test rifle for situations just like this. So that's been working out perfectly for that.
That's perfect. And both your gun that you built is fantastic, and Chris, your gun is fantastic. It looks good. So don't forget to stop by Sheepdog Gun Armory so you guys can either get your Supervel ammo, you can get your suppressors, you can get your custom Cerakote job, or you can get all your custom parts to build your own gun and put it together yourself.
All right. So again, thank you, Supervel, for being a brand new channel sponsor. We definitely appreciate you. We definitely appreciate the rounds. We're happy to make this test for you guys. You guys know that you can get these rounds at Sheepdog Gun Armory. What's your thoughts on the rounds, man?
They did great. I mean, they're brass case ammunition using copper-coated full metal jacket rounds, which is great for your gun. They run smooth without any ejection problems. Every round that we fired, except for maybe one exception, they all were subsonic. Nothing went above 1,125 feet per second. And now we don't Now their box does mark 1,050 feet per second, but we don't know at the factory what barrel length that they were testing it with. But what we can say for sure is it was doing its job. It stayed under that subsonic crack. It did not damage our eardrums. Combining it with a suppressor and even shorter barrel, the decibel rating got even quieter and quieter and quieter. I believe to as low as about 945 feet per second, give or take. That's probably the slowest that we heard, but that's what you're looking for a subsonic 300 blackout round.
Now, to be really specific, this Timber Creek 16-inch barrel build, when we tested the Supervel, we didn't really test it, we just shot it. In one of our past videos, it was the direct impact rounds. They did not cycle in this gun. Basically, effectively turned it into a bolt action. These rounds actually cycled in this gun. So I was impressed by that because I didn't change nothing on the gun. The gun's still set up as it was then. So these rounds might be better for this gun. Again, it goes to what Brandon and I always say, always match the rounds to your gun, because it makes a huge difference. You know, now my 10.5 inch, I mean, it was almost made for that 200 grain hush puppy round because it was super quiet. I was really happy with the performance I got out of it. You know, couldn't have asked for a better test on that one. Just validates, you know, when I built it, what I built it for, and what it's possibly capable of doing. So.
Oh yeah, and then honestly, both your build and Chris's build were my two favorites today. They both did fantastic. Chris, I'm going to give you a huge shout out. Yours was my favorite. Loved the 7.5 inch combination with your can not sticking out so far. Not only is the paint job fantastic, but the decibel ratings were lower.
I think he lasered that on there.
He did. It's a topography, so it's hard for you guys to see.
He did a topography laser etching on that.
It's laser and Cerakote. If you guys want laser and Cerakote, that's also an option here too. But fantastic, Supervel. Thank you very much. Love the suppression of your cartridges here with subsonic ammo, and we're looking forward to doing it more on the range, and we appreciate you being a sponsor. So for everybody else who's looking to come get that stuff, come see Sheepdog Gun Armory. You know, they're there for you for all your gun and ammunition needs. Tailor targets. Thank you for providing targets always. And
those guys are amazing.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
Thank you, Triad Defense, for coming out here with me today, man. Appreciate you as always. You know?
If you guys need your CCW, your concealed carry weapon, I do offer classes twice a month. You can either stop by Sheepdog Gun Armory. You can sign up over at his shop, or you can visit my website, triaddefense.vegas. All the links are below. Check them out, and then we'll see you guys out there to help you out.
Absolutely.
So, cool.
So with that being said, you guys have a great one, and thank you for joining us, and we hope we answered some questions you might have had about this stuff.
Yeah. Let's take the guns back to the shop and have the guys clean them.
Oh, that's the plan. That's absolutely the plan.
Yeah, we don't clean them no more.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. You guys have a great day.